friends, I'm Jude, and I'm here with another Get to Know interview. And today I have Rose Osada. She is the owner of Relics by Rose. Hi, how are you
Hi,
doing
Jude.
today, Rose?
I'm great. So happy to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your wonderful business. And I became aware of your company when I won these beautiful earrings. And I wanted, before I put them on, I wanted everyone to see. Now, I did an unboxing of this on my channel, so I'll link that below so everybody can see that. I always think it's fun to watch an unboxing, but these are just so beautiful. When I wear them, I get so many compliments
Oh, good.
on them, and we'll talk about the origins of these later. But as we just get started, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Rose?
Sure. Yeah. I'm married. I have a mom of five. So my kids are the oldest just turned 15 and the youngest is 6. 4 boys and a girl. The girl's in the middle. And so I used to teach. I was a former special ed teacher in a school district, and I stopped that about 10 years ago, and I just started, doing the jewelry things. So yeah, I have a big Catholic family. I grew up Catholic. I was one of 9. A lot of us are still in the same area. I'm in southeastern Pennsylvania, and we see each other a lot. My parents live around the corner. So, the Catholic Church and faith has been a huge part of my life since I was born. And, as well as extended family and stuff, lots of aunts and uncles and stuff like that. So it seemed really natural to me when I started doing Catholic jewelry and things. Just, I already know a lot. It kind of, just from growing up and going to Catholic school and stuff. So it was sort of a natural outlet for me to share.
Now, can you share with us a little bit about the origins of your business? How did it all get started?
Sure. Yeah. So I was, my grandmother passed away a while back, probably about 15 years now, but my grandfather still lived a while after she passed. And he was always trying to give away some of her stuff and sort of clearing out this drawer at a time and that drawer at a time. And there was a lot of, vintage medals, prayer cards, statues, all kinds of things that he was kind of like, well, what am I going to do with this? This was, Teresa's, and who wants it? Who he was giving away stuff. So a lot of people didn't want the old vintage broken rosaries, necklaces, miraculous medals, and prayer cards, but they are, you don't want to just throw them away either, So I was like, oh, I'll take that box. And it was just, a box of junk that I went through. And I started being like, well, I can make a rosary bracelet out of this rosary that only has 3 decades left. And, I probably gave 2 away and kept 1 for myself, kind of thing. So that's where the name Relics by Rose started, because it was more vintage things, repurposing, saving those special things, things that have been through World War II. And this could have been pinned to a soldier's uniform and got him through a horrible, night or something. So it was just really special to me to think about. You could see the wornness of a metal, there's something that had been held for thick and thin, and so that old stuff kind of really spoke to me. So I started with that, and that's where the name Relics by Rose came. And I still like that kind of stuff. I guess once you start making more and more, those vintage metals become harder to come by. And so I was having some trouble with sourcing things, and so I started with my own stuff as well. So I don't have as much vintage things in my shop today, and that's but I still like that. If I find something pretty, I'll definitely post it or give it to a friend or something. It's just the time commitment to finding all the search. And I used to go to yard sales and stuff too, but my kids keep me busy on Saturday mornings with sports and all of those kinds of things. So I don't have much time for that as well anymore. So yeah, so now I do a lot of, I source different metals from reputable, Catholic US based companies and things, and try and still mix in the vintage when I can. So
I think that's beautiful, because you're right. When you know that, you find these items from your grandmother, and many of us have had grandparents that really were planting those seeds of our faith. And we know how many times they held those rosary beads. We know there was a sacramental that they cherished. So for us to restore and repurpose them in a way, and as you said, you gifted many of those items. So that is beautiful. If anyone wants to, I have your site pulled up. This is on Etsy, Relics by Rose, and I love, just the title, Catholic Jewelry with Modern Style. So this is one of the go-to places. Obviously, you'll see all the beautiful items that you have, and they're very unique. They're very unique. I love interviewing Catholic creators, because everyone, of course, as artists and creators, has a different style and a different technique. And so just to name a few things that you will find at Relics by Rose, you have rosaries, you have rosary bracelets, pins, pocket rosaries. You have a lot of things, and you can tell us a little bit about, with the mustard seed as the focal point, whether it's a necklace, earrings, you have rosary markers, you have some cufflinks, necklaces, bookmarks, and stickers. So there's so many different things. And we might as well start with the earrings that I have on right now. These beautiful, because the meaning behind it, I think, is so special and so unique. So can you tell us about these particular earrings that I have, Queen Anne's lace?
Right. Sure. Yeah. So I started getting into pressed flowers probably like 2 years ago, and they are meant to replicate sort of the idea of a Mary garden. So I have a Mary garden out back. That's an ancient Catholic tradition, really. And I sort of got very involved in researching it all, but I started, in medieval times with before people could read and have prayers and stuff that they could read. So they started making up stories about flowers to teach the faithful. So Queen Anne's lace is Christ's blood drops, and some of the flowers have a red center with the white pieces around it, the white petals. So the idea is, here's Christ's blood, with all of the white is the people, the faithful surrounding him, the ones who've been purified by his blood. Another popular one is forget-me-nots, which in ancient times was Our Lady's eyes. So you'd say, here's the blue of her eyes, always watching over you. And they'd make up a little story or a legend. Of course, they weren't true. It was just a way to keep that idea of the Blessed Mother and the saints in your head. So you would remember them, because they couldn't write it down. They couldn't read. And it was when everybody lived like a very liturgical life. So different flowers would come out at different times of the year. And then that flower would be linked to a certain, whatever feast day, So one of them is for Blessed Mother's birthday, because it comes out in September, So just when the different flowers bloom, they would say, oh, well, this is blooming on the feast of St. John. So we'll, and they come up with a legend to teach the people about the story of, the different saints and stuff. So I started getting into that.
I love that meaning behind it. I always look to see how you as a creative person have taken our faith and you've woven them into the pieces. Now, you also have a Divine Mercy necklace. I'm a big devotee to the Divine Mercy chaplet. So when I saw that on your website, Divine Mercy necklace, and it has kind of that same meaning, except it really represents the Divine Mercy image.
Right. The flowers I used in that aren't connected to the actual Divine Mercy, because that's obviously a newer devotion anyway, but I just use the red and the white to replicate the blood and water of, Jesus. So the flowers, I think, are the same thing, the Queen Anne's lace for the white, but then carnations for the red. And I just kind of organize them in a way in the piece that represent like the blood and water. So it's, some people are really like a subtle Catholic jewelry, and you know what I mean? So, or to mix it up. I always wear a miraculous metal every day, but I don't always want to wear miraculous metal earrings and a bracelet and everything like that. But it's nice to have each piece mean something, and it can be, it doesn't have to be overtly Catholic, single thing that you wear. But it's,
but I tell you,
nice
it's
to have
really
meaning
an
behind
invitation to a conversation where you can
Right.
explain.
Yeah.
They certainly have done that for me.
Mhm.
And not only are they beautifully designed, but they're very lightweight.
Mhm.
I sometimes, stay away from earrings that are bigger in size.
Mhm.
These do not pull my ear lobes down. They're
Mhm.
very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Unlike so many others that are a dangle type earring. So I just
Right.
love them, and they definitely, they're a statement piece.
Mhm. Yeah, I wear that same pair a lot too myself. So the resin, I use resin in there, and that's a very lightweight material, so it's not so much metal hanging off your ear. So it is lightweight.
Wonderful. So Rose, what other items would you like to share with us today?
Well, my most popular, and actually the very first thing I made, was a rosary bracelet. So those have kind of evolved with my, just playing around with them. So the ones that are most popular now and have been for a while are my 5-decade rosary bracelets. So the first rosary bracelet I made was just the 1 decade from the broken rosary. But so these are 5 decades, and I hand knot each one. So they're really sturdy, because you probably can't tell. Sorry. There's individual knots between each bead. And then the centerpiece here, I make these with like a clay and a resin, and there's a miraculous metal in the middle, if you can see that. So then, and they're adjustable. So that one just wrapped around I have small wrist, but you can, I usually put a chain on the end with a crucifix, depending on which one it is, and you can adjust them so they fit different size wrists. So
I love that. So you have your rosary with you.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And at any time you could do a decade of the rosary or a few Hail Marys or an Our Father. So it's
Right.
that's beautiful. And it's a piece of jewelry too.
Yeah. And I say they're also conversation pieces. I do get a lot of compliments on them when I wear mine. And then you say, oh, it's pretty. That's a pretty bracelet. Oh, it's a rosary bracelet. And then you can say that one. So I have different ones. This one's St. Therese, and I have a Benedict and St. Joseph, some things like that. So and then, yeah, I have the decade rosary, just, pocket rosaries. And you mentioned the mustard seed. So I've tried to incorporate the mustard seed in a bunch of different things. I have the mustard seed necklace here. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera, but it's very dainty, like, minimalistic kind of look there. It's just a tiny mustard seed. And then I've started incorporating them into these rosaries, which are a different kind of a piece. I have earrings and a bracelet too with the mustard seed. So there's a few different things. I have the like Bible quotes, the mustard seed. I have the salt and light pieces that represent your salt, the earth, light of the world. And I don't think I have those right in front of me, and then I have another one that represents the wildflower, the Bible passage about how we clothe the wild, Christ clothes, or God clothes the wildflowers in the field. How much more will he do for you, kind of thing. I forget the exact, I'm not a good quoter of scripture, but I know the gist. So, I have some stretch bracelets, just different things that you can stack them or wear them, and wear those with another bracelet. And then the cufflinks, I have a couple of different versions. These are miraculous metal cufflinks. These are popular for weddings a lot. Father's Day, those kind of things. So it's miraculous metal. And I have St. Joseph. There's just there's St. Joseph metal in the middle. I don't know if I'm doing a good job of sharing or not.
That's beautiful. And so you set these particular pieces in a resin. So you're creating those individual
right. Everything's done by hand. I do a mixture of clay, which is like and resin, usually on top. So yeah, the cufflinks are handmade. All the rosaries are hand, beaded and things like that. So I buy certain pieces, but for the most part, everything's homemade, handmade, and by me. I don't really have any help. So yeah, but it's good. I learned so much too from making the things and sharing them. So and the history behind it. And I have fun just reading up on different devotions that, you learned 20 years ago, but you haven't read about them again, and you kind of like, wait, why do we believe in what do we believe about St. Benedict medal and things like that? So it's good to, yeah, right. Refreshes. And then I share with my
yes,
kids. My kids come in, they say, what are you making, Mom? And and they help me with a few things here and there. But yeah, so it's good.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the ways really to connect with you, obviously you have your Etsy shop at Relics by Rose, and also Instagram,
right,
and Facebook. And tell us about subscribing to your email list, because that's a way that you could tap into possibly exclusive offers and announcements.
Yeah. If you go to my Instagram profile, there's a link to sign up for my email list. And you get a coupon, 15% off, I think, for when you sign up, and you'll get like an introductory email with that information. I send an email once or twice a month, and it will have to, I usually put some kind of freebie in there. I think last month my subscribers got a bookmark that I've been making. So I made these couple of bookmarks, and one of them is free for the subscriber. So ways to track your prayers, a daily rosary.
Can we see those closer, Rose?
Yeah, this one's there's a pack of 3, and one was free for my subscribers. So it's a 54-day novena, so a little check mark. So I actually just started that this week for special intention. So and then I just shared it with everybody else. So this one's daily rosary if you're trying to make that a habit, and then novenas. I'm always seem to be saying another novena with the pray more novenas and things. That is
such a clever way to do it, because you had sent me that beautiful morning offering card, the prayer card, and I use that as a bookmark.
Yeah.
So as I open my book, I have the prayer right there, and I just love those bookmarks, because we could all lose track of, okay, what day am I on? And it's a reminder too, when we open the book and maybe it's a little later in the day, we say, oh, I didn't get to today's novena prayer.
Right. I like that it's pen and paper too, because sometimes I try and keep track of things digitally or on an app, and then I have to open my phone and I get distracted. So that's definitely me. So if I don't touch my phone and I keep this first thing, then I know it gets done. If I open my phone, then I see an email and a text message and, the news, and 15 minutes go by and I didn't start. So,
yes, we all get lost in that rabbit hole.
Yeah, definitely. So, so that's one of the things that my subscribers might get, or some other kind of printable, or just, first to know about sales. I might have only a limited product, a few things of certain products. So, a lot of feast day kind of things, and liturgical year, I try and keep to that, so to help people, remind people, and
perfect,
stay focused.
I'm going to link all of those sites, all the sites, and then of course how you can subscribe to the email list down below, so check that out. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today?
I don't think so. I was just looking at my notes. No, this was great. I'm happy to share and help people. If, anyone who wants to pray the rosary more, that's kind of like the goal of, just infusing prayer into your life and keeping God at the center, and everybody needs a reminder to pray. To keep, your faith as center. So any little help you can get along the way, I think.
Perfect.
I'm happy to provide. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. A couple of quick questions for you, Rose. Do you have a favorite devotion?
The rosary, I guess, is my main thing that I do. So I try
Mhm.
and it's so versatile. I think you can do a little bit at a time or all in one sitting, and it includes the mysteries, which are from the Bible and everything. So you're kind of hitting all those points at once. So
Great. How
yeah.
about a go-to saint?
St. Joseph has really been a big one for me in the past 2 years. And I don't know if it's, well, my husband was sick for a while and my son had some medical problems. So just during those things, St. Joseph is really being a big one. And then I think with the Father Calloway's book that came out about the devotion to St. Joseph, I read through that, and he's just, super powerful. And, after the Blessed Mother, I think he's been my go-to one lately. So I've always, St. Rose of Lima, because she's my patron saint. I was born on her feast day, and St. Therese is my middle name, or Teresa is my middle name. So, but St. Joseph recently in the past couple of years has been, he doesn't let you down, I've noticed.
No, the saints are amazing. So remember out there, tap into, I love to go like Saint of the Day. Franciscan Media has that.
Yeah.
A lot of, you'll never learn probably all the saints possible, because sometimes I pull it up and I have no clue. I've never heard. I can't even pronounce the name of the saint.
Right.
But it's I find it very comforting as you're going through, and maybe you have a friend who's going through a difficult time. You can find what is the patron saint of that might give them that extra sense that they have an intercessor. And that's what the saints are for us, an intercessor in prayer and devotion. So that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. I have so enjoyed meeting you and sharing you with my audience. So thank you so much for being here today. And as again,
thanks so much for having me. It was fun.
Oh, great. Thank you. You're welcome. And I'm going to have the link below, as I said, to all of your platforms, so everyone will know just where to go to connect with you and shop for the beautiful items that you have in your shop. So God bless everyone. Until next time, peace and love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.